Bonjour. Amin, Nin, Wajashkabinashikwa, Sandive, First Nations, Donji, Mitigadajon, Mitigadajon, Kinozazivin, Gijuitia, Mide Hejawiguan, Apingawitigan, Gi Antivigo, und Kawi Kwaidonga. Good afternoon, relatives. My name is Blue Thunderbird Woman, and my clan is the Bear. I am from Sandy Bay First Nation, and I also like to acknowledge the band that I married into, which is Kinozezi being First Nation, and I'm happy to be recognized as belonging to Treaty 1, which Sandy Bay is a part of the Treaty 1. And that's where I have my upbringing. My roots are from there, and that's where my family still resides. I want to begin, of course, by acknowledging the Creator first and foremost. I know sitting here waiting, send out some thoughts of prayer that I can be guided, and I can say the words, the expressions that I need to be able to say in the context of the knowledge that our forefathers have carried from a long time. And the topic that we're talking about really focuses on my history as a First Nations woman and as a First Nations person, and being an educator for over 40 years allows me to be able to remember some of the things that I learned about the treaties, not only from my home place, but also having gone to the university to attain my degrees, and to also uphold our own knowledge that has been passed on to us for generations, and that continue to be passed on to us. And it is through the grandparents, our parents, and also the people that I have met in my walk, in my life path. Wonderful people that I have met and that I have learned from. You know, many of them have gone into the spirit world, but anytime that I remember anything of their teaching, I always acknowledge the spirit in which it was given to me as an Anishinaabe Kwe. And I really appreciate that. And I think the same goes for people that have the opportunity to listen to the stories of the elders as it relates to the treaties. Now, mea koe, minik ke kidlan, gini tam, kitaga wechi magotanga wino ontaga wechi mian. We had so much freedom. We had so much care for one another, and we helped one another survive and will continue to survive as a people. And I believe that everything that was given to us as a people from the Creator. So how can we not be a happy people prior to the coming of our white brothers, Europeans coming over for the very first time and finding us living here and doing pretty good, sustaining ourselves in the best way that we know how. But the sustenance came because of the gifts that the Creator had given to us, and that is truly reflected in our societies, even to this day, 2020. It's written in our birch bark scrolls. It's written on the teaching sands of our people that are used to pass on knowledge, and it's also written in the sky realm, from which a lot of our stories are passed on from one generation to the next. And it is sad sometimes to know that we were such a kind, good-hearted people, and that's where that term midday, midday ANISHINAABE, that word came from, and for our people to go back and embrace the teachings of our people in how we sustained ourselves and how we continued and still continue to sustain our ways in the best way that we know how. The importance of the ceremonies had in our lives is so fundamental and continues to be the foundation of our beliefs and what we carry forward to teach people about who we are as a people. We are a sacred people. We are a blessed people, and I think that has never left the minds of our forefathers, and it is through the ceremonies that our treaties were made. So it had a very important role from the beginning of time. Ceremonies have played a major role our whole life because of the gratitude that we felt was expressed through ceremony. Being grateful for what life has given to us, being grateful for the medicines, and being grateful for all the sustenance products that we've been able to survive from to this day was a daily ceremony in itself. And I know in other people as well, they've maintained that. We still say thank you for the food that we eat. We say thank you for the animals that have given up their life so that we can continue to be fed. And we say thank you for the water that continues to flow and continues to sustain all of life, including our own life. So yes, ceremony had a very important part because when we look at the treaties and we know that our forefathers used the most sacred gift that was given for us to reach and talk to the Creator, which was the pipe, and then that was the instrument that was used to tread carefully in what it is that we were going to be asking for, or what they were going to be asking for on our behalf. And they also spoke about the 7 generations forward to ensure what they were talking about would reach 7 generations. We've surpassed the 7 generations, but I think through sessions like this, that continues to be with us in our minds, our bodies, and our spirits. And that's how we continue to put great hope into our future in people honoring our most sacred item that was used to unfold our treaties. The language embodies the culture of the time when the treaties were being made. And our people had the gifts of being able to understand one another. And they had the gift of being able to negotiate and to barter and to make plans for their survival. Whatever places they may have found themselves, they would go to other places and they would find people that they could barter with, and I think language had a very significant role. Like it wasn't only through sign language, it wasn't only through sending smoke signals, it was other ways and means, and a lot of our people, we can even look today into Manitoba. How many of our edge communities that are at the edges of Anishinaabe speaking communities into the Cree speaking areas, the Crees that overlap to the Anishinaabe people, and the Anishinaabe people that overlap to the start of the Cree communities. They understand one another. That's totally incredible, and that's again in 2020. So you take it back prior to treaty, lots of more people knew and had that gift to be able to speak each other's language and to be understood. Because we all had the same heart, we had the same mind, and we had the same spirit. Sure, we had different spoken languages, but I think we had the same languages of the heart in the translation of the words, and that's why we see to this day, when we say we didn't cede our land, we didn't cede our language, we didn't give anything up. Those are strong words, but you know what? That's the truth. And we carry the truth in our hearts and our spirit. Many of us that are on the Elders Council, we represent our treaties and we represent our spoken languages. So every member that is in our Elders Council speaks their language of their land, language of their people, and together, we're able to help one another. And it's always so incredibly amazing, like how we can trigger each other's memory, or we can add to a piece that someone might be sharing. So the elders' perspective on treaties is very valuable. because we also represent the generations of people that we were able to learn from, and that we were able to be in the same spaces with when other elders before us were asking and seeking the same knowledge that the young people are so much wanting to have in their lives. And intergenerational knowledge is through the elders. That's how it's passed on from one generation to the other. And having people want to know more of the treaties, and wanting to hear from the elders. At one time, they told us to guard our knowledge, but you know what? Our elders are passing away at a pretty fast pace, and I believe that we have to capture whatever we can for the generations yet to come. I believe their role was significant. They were often the ceremonial carriers of the bundles that helped our people that were the front line negotiators, who were the people that were being coached by the elders, information that was being put forward. And I know that in the role of the woman had a pretty significant role as well, you know, that behind every successful man is a woman that supports the partner, supports the son, supports the brother, and supports the family that may have gone to these places of where the negotiations were being held. You know, so I think their role is just as significant today in us telling our story. You know, what is your story with the treaties? I think the role of the elders today is to make sure that you know, when we know of some things that are not unfolding in the way that they're supposed to, that we have every right to correct it and to equip our people that are the front line, that speak on our behalf now, you know, to move forward. But they too have to listen and rely on the elders to continue to be strong, you know. And there isn't a day that we don't pray for our leadership that is at the front line with what we're dealing with as a pandemic of COVID. You know, there isn't a day that passes we don't think about them and pray for our communities. So yes, our role is significant and will continue to be. So I think when we talk about the spirit and intent of the treaties, and because we used our most sacred items, And we also use the sacredness of our languages. That was the intent, the spirit and intent of the treaties. Through the pipe, our highest level of our belief with the Creator, and the belief that the Creator has given us that, you know. I consider myself a very blessed person, and I've been shown in many ways just how blessed I am. And again, this morning, I was shown that. So I want to relate a little piece here. You know, that was spoken by our late leader that kind of woke us up in a political sense. But I think being awakened in a political sense also ties us back to our spiritual sense of being, our spirit and intent of why our people went into the treaties, you know. And this is a quote I'm going to read. That's from an address made by the late Chief Dave Buchanan, who was the president of the Manitoba Indian Brotherhood back in 1971. Long before the white man came, we were adapting our ways to adjust to our changing environment. For we had not, had we not, we would have died as a people many centuries ago. But we adapt in our ways and not in anyone else's. We will make our own lives, and our young will assure us of that. I found this so profound because I think it really encompasses and enshrines our treaties and the reason why we cannot, as a people, ever give up. That we will continue to live in the way that the Creator has given us that life. Sure, many of our people may have strayed away, but I think if the message is constant, the young people in their time will become the elders, and they'll ensure that intergenerational information and beliefs and hopes are part of our ever-changing world. What doesn't change is our spirit, and we will live according to how we look after one another. I say thank you for that opportunity to be able to share that piece with the spirit and intent, and again, just a reverberation of our belief system of who we are as Anishinaabe, belonging to Treaty 1 territory. The treaty relationship now, I think, is slowly beginning to have more respect, more regard, because our people haven't changed in the belief of the spirit and intent of the treaties. So this is going to continue, and I've met so many people that are starting to look to us to see how can they help, and there's stories that are starting to unfold globally. There's stories starting to unfold on Turtle Island, where such great benefits are coming to our people to be able to tell our truth, to be able to share our truth, and for people to be where we are today, dealing with a pandemic that's globally impacted everyone. And I've always believed that there's a reason for everything. There's a time for everything. And the time is for all of us to be able to reflect in how we have been treated as a people, so separate from everything else. And yet, we are human beings too. We have feelings, we have dreams, we have visions, and we want the best for everybody. But it cannot be until we can look after the treaties as they were intended to be. So my hope is so much greater than I can ever express. And I hope I can live to see some of the greater changes that are being addressed in different places. Dealing with us, nation to nation, and dealing with us, and believing in our languages, carrying our strength and our voices, and our spirit continue to be strong, and we'll continue to ask that we be given the time to be able to express who we truly are as a people, good-hearted people. Midday ANISHINAABE kwe ni wing ma giwi zage niguk izage niguk ayak ANISHINAABE miigwech.